Hi everyone, welcome to episode 1. Today we are going to discuss about Sirsasana, which is nothing but headstand. Sirsasana comes under cooling posture in Ashtanga. We have to do it at the end of the practice. So before getting into Sirsasana, there are so many things, basic things I'm going to share with you today. So the first thing is to how to engage your body. Even as a beginner, like you're new to yoga practice, you have to know how to engage your body. So the first thing is we'll start with our belly. So how to engage your belly. So you can pull your belly button inside. Slowly pull your belly button inside. Good. And then now you can feel your belly. Belly is the core, the important part. You have to strengthen it a lot before getting into Sirsasana. Next is your shoulder. Slowly lift your shoulder up and roll it back down. Good. Now you can feel your shoulder. The next is your leg. You're gonna keep your legs straight and okay. You're going to point it up. So you this in this posture, your tippy toes will be pointing up to the sky. So it will be pulling up to the sky away from the ground. So your feet are together and tippy toes points up to the sky. So why your tippy toes have to point up to the sky is when you're upside down, your whole body weight tends to you tend to put it on your neck and your head. So if your leg pull it against the gravity little bit up, so you can have an even space to breathe, your whole body will have this beautiful straight line. So that is so important. So engage your like tippy toes pointing up to the sky. The next important thing is your neck. How to engage your neck, very important. Um, so everything is now straight. Now your chin is in 90-degree, right? You have to move a little bit down 20 or 30-degree. So it is not like you're going to move it very loose. No, you're going to move one stiff movement and you will feel a lock at the back of your end of your head and the beginning of your neck. Between this part, you will feel a tuck when you do this. It's just 20-degree down, and if you move back, you can feel your neck. That is how you engage your neck. Engaging your neck is very important so that you don't feel much pain and all clumsiness in your head. So most probably engaging is so important. So every part of your body divides your body weight, and so it saves your head from feeling all the weight when you're in upside down. So technically that's important. And the next thing is we will go ahead how to do practice headstand. First is your hand posture. So fold your feet. So you're gonna cross your arms and then hold your elbows. So and then place it before your knees. This is your elbow position. Your elbow posture is fixed, and then you have to open your upper arm, forearm. Sorry, forearm. In your forearm, like next is your interlocking your fingers. How to interlock your fingers is you're going to bring your fingers together. Okay, this is important. This gives more strength, more support. Actually, many of us tend to have this way. It's not right. It should be like this. I'll not say it's not right. It is little bit more difficult for beginner to do in that way. So it's better to interlock and give an extra support to your head. Next is your crown of your head. So first elbows and then fingers and next crown. So to find the crown, if it is very difficult to find which part of your head to be placed on the mat, it is very easy. Take your block, place it up. See, this is wait. Okay, this is my center. Okay, this is my center. So this from this to this front part will be in the ground, and the above part will have your arm support. Okay, so Balancing, when you find the trick to balance, no, it'll become easy to stay longer in Sirsasana. This comes with experience, not on the first day. You can, it is a little bit difficult. So let's go ahead. Elbow is done, your fingers are done, and next your crown of your head is done. See, the back side get the support. This is where you place your fingers. Okay, next we're going to walk a little bit in and lift our legs to see if our core is strong to pull us up. Let's see. Slowly. Okay. Now we're going to walk your leg a little bit in. See, my hip is moving a little bit back. So it is gonna. Now I can feel my legs are like, I can lift my leg, engage everything, chin, shoulder. Now slowly bend your knees such that your thigh is closer to your chest. And then point your tippy toes up to the sky. Stay here. This is a very important posture to train your core. Train your core a lot, like to engage your core and train your core to strengthen it more, to lift your upper body up to the sky. You should have your thigh muscle strength also, neck strength also. Overall, you have to have complete body strength before you get into this posture, but you can build it up in time. So this is very important posture. You should try to stay in this posture for so long and get comfortable with the upside down. Sometimes you tend to roll the other side. If you have a fear, you may hurt your back. You can place a pillow or you can place a teddy bear or something like that. Soft support back for your back, so that when you trip or fall down, you can have a like a support in your back. So let's get into this posture. Interlock your fingers and then slowly walk in. This is very important so that your spine and your hip are in stacked one over the other. Now slowly pull your knees a little bit in. Good. Now when you're so comfortable with this, slowly lift your feet up to the sky. Your tippy toes is pointing up and it's also pulling your body weight up to the sky. And slowly you can bring it down. Once you're down, this is an important part. You shouldn't lift your head immediately. Stay here for 3 breaths. 2. So it is so important to stay down for 3 breaths before lifting your head up. You should, since you're in complete upside down and then you landed back in your child pose, lifting up immediately can give a shock to your body. So stay there, calm your body, little bit down, let it settle down, and then slowly lift your head up. So next technique is, after you master the halfway and then you have to lift your leg up, there is one more method to learn the balance, is taking your leg little bit back and the other leg front. So your weight of your leg will be little front and back, so it kinds of balance your body and it will not allow you to fall. This is one of my technique. That's how I could detach from the wall. So we'll we'll try that. So pull it up, stack your hip, and then slowly take 1 foot back. Slowly lift your knees a little bit up.
So this way, my legs are balancing my body equally weight. If you want, like,
You can also do this to strengthen your core for so long. Like you can stay upside down for little longer. This technique helps you to stay upside down little longer. So try this technique also and let me know if you're able to do Sirsasana a little bit. And the next important thing is like if you're new to yoga, don't try to do Sirsasana in first month. You have to wait at least minimum 2 months before trying any inversion. It's a compulsory because at first you could have a lot of toxin inside your body. So getting into inversion, like it is a little bit uh, not advisable. So let at least wait 2 months to cleanse your body internally before getting trying any inversion. So wait for minimum 2 months to strengthen your neck, strengthen your shoulder, and then you can try Sirsasana. Next episode will be learning with the support of wall. There will be more of wall tips, and you can. I'll split into 2 episodes: wall and help of blocks, or I'll make it into one also. So let me know if you want any more tips about Siddhasana in the basic. If you have any doubts, you can write it down. I'll reply you. Thank you guys for watching it. See you. Bye.